Hello, everyone, and welcome to FBA TV. I'm joined by Nicholas, yeah, we're going to get into his story. So, welcome, Nicholas, part-time thrifter.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Let me just check that we're all live in the group.
Yeah, no worries.
Checking it now. But yeah, so we were just talking on the call. You're no longer part-time. Yeah, we're live there. No longer part-time thrifter. Well, your name is, but you're now full-time thrifter.
Yeah, it's quite crazy, isn't it? Really. So I should have been back at school after 10 years of teaching. I should be back at school last week, actually teaching, doing my inset day, and instead I was able to actually take my daughter for a swimming. So things have actually changed massively over the last 4 years of actually doing Amazon, and like growing the business. It's been amazing, really.
So now you're doing it. Now you're doing it full time. Cindy's joined us. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, we get a few comments going on.
Yeah, no worries. Do you want me to start off with actually explaining who I am? Because I imagine quite a lot of people probably not got a clue.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that was going to be my first sort of question once a few people have joined us.
Yeah.
We've got a few people just popping on now. So Cindy's here. A few people start to comment. That's why I quite like doing it live, you know, because you actually
for sure.
Get the interaction. And then what I'll do is upload it to YouTube afterwards. And then I think that's Paul. It says Facebook user because StreamYard doesn't show the comments if they haven't signed up. So, hey dudes, hi all, hello everyone, and welcome. So yeah, as I say, this is Nicholas, part-time thrifter, now full-time thrifter.
Yeah, full-time thrifter.
So cool. Right, let's get into it. So first of all, I mean, I follow you. I follow you on YouTube and stuff like that. It says that you're an Amazon and eBay reseller. What do you do exactly? Because obviously there's quite a big, that could be a multitude of things like RA, OA, things like that. So what is it that you actually do? Like,
so obviously the whole thing started 3 years ago. Was just literally doing RA. I would say even RA saying literally going to charity shops and finding books. I started Amazon because I read an article that I was a teacher that was making $2,500 by going to charity shops and getting books. That's what it was, really. That's how I started Amazon. So I started with that, and I sold for the first 6 months mainly secondhand goods on Amazon, and vastly books. And then literally I kept looking and looking again through YouTube and started RA, and I was doing RA, and I was one of those people that would actually finish this work day and actually still spend 3-4 hours going to shops, and then go home, pack his items, and then all over again. And I would say as soon as the pandemic started, I looked to go to a different way, because obviously RA is amazing, and everyone that does Amazon knows the feeling of actually popping into Smith's and getting something for a tenner and selling it for 40, or popping into Sainsbury's and getting like a TP link for 69p and that sells for 30. It's just insane. There's no better feeling for it. But obviously it was time was quite crazy for us. So I've switched to online arbitrage, and I've actually created my own website in order to get wholesalers. So I'll do mainly online arbitrage and wholesaling at the moment in time.
Fantastic, nice. So is that 100% on Amazon, or do you do eBay as well still?
I do eBay also. So I cross list, I would actually say. Sadly, and I have to pay the 70 quid fee on eBay because I'm listing more than 250 items. That was quite annoying, where I could easily sell it on my private account and get my no fees and all that. And I'm sure everyone's exactly the same. But obviously I'm VAT registered now. So you can skip the routes. Like, they will find you at some point. So you've just got to do everything according to it. So I've got my eBay store, and I literally pretty much cross list my Amazon inventory to eBay. And then I've got that being fulfilled using my Amazon stock.
Fantastic, nice. So you do online arbitrage and you do online arbitrage and wholesale. And then I see that what's most interesting, like anyone that's followed your YouTube channel, is the fact that you do all the prep yourself, mate, in your garage, don't you?
Yeah, it's just people love it. I mean, obviously, at some point, and I have actually made the decision, spoiler alert, that I'm actually getting a prep center. But I was very small-minded. I was actually thinking like, oh, 50p an item. But I think at some point when you're actually doing this, you've got to figure out, what do you value more, money or your time? I think that's what it was. And so like yesterday, like obviously I write down what I do every day. Sadly, I've got my teacher planner, which I'm not using for this year, but it's still there. And I write down what I do every day. And it took me 2 hours yesterday to get 60 units. Yeah, 2 hours to get 60 units. Now, for those 2 hours, if I'd sent it to the prep center, I could be either looking at spreadsheets, I could be looking at my wholesaler list, and I could just keep feeding the beast. So it's just me actually thinking like, well, the business is growing. At some point, you've got to actually take a step back. Otherwise, you're no longer, you're just worker. You're just a worker. You're not got a business. You're just a worker. So that's why I've actually decided to like take a step back and have a prep center. But you're correct. I would say a good 95% of anything I've sent into Amazon has been prepared for myself. And I mean, at the moment in time, I mean, it's only small numbers, okay? Like considering what you see on Twitter and stuff. So on the last 12 months of me prepping everything, I've sent about 133,000 in the UK marketplace. That's what my revenue is. So that's how much I've sold. And actually, let's say the units, how many units I've actually prepped. I think that's
you prep them all yourself, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 4,000 units.
Yeah, wow.
4,000 units. So yeah, if people thinking 4,000 times 50 pence, you've saved money, but how much time have I actually spent fighting with a with a brand babe?
I had the same sort of thing, like the transition, you know, from the prep center, and I've gone backwards and forwards a few times, by the way. Prep center, not prep center office, got an office, prep center not, and in the end, I just thought that, you know, my time is definitely better off spent long term. It's quite a hard transition to get used to. Like anyone that's going to go through it or going through it, going from the, you know, because it is quite a significant cost, biggest variable cost you're ever going to have, isn't it?
It's exactly it, and especially because it's not. You literally see at the end of the month, isn't it? It's like the old eBay used to be with the PayPal fees. You used to pay the PayPal fees at the end of the month, and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm doing really well here." Oh no, you're not. Here's 400 quid off.
Yeah, exactly. So, but once you get used to it, I think it takes a few months to. It's just my experience. It takes a few months to see the, to see the benefits of getting someone else to do it, because you're spending all them hours that you would have been prepping on growing the business, and then over time, I just found that, you know, I definitely saw a big, you know, profit come back to me, bigger than would have been.
You can go away, you can go on holidays. Like, I mean, at any given point, even though I was working as a full-time teacher, I was doing online arbitrage. My poor wife, like, she was pregnant, she was working from home, and she might be receiving 10 parcels a day. And you might be thinking, well, if she wasn't here, where would those parcels be going? So it unlocks you. And the good thing is, like, not being a teacher. And one of the good things is, I know a lot of people thinking teaching is, oh, you must get so many holidays. Well, I pay 10 times over for those holidays because all the kids go out at the same time. So it'd be nice to actually go on a holiday at a decent time and not thinking my business is going to stop working. So that's what I'm looking forward to, the freedom.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Cool. So you've just mentioned that you were a teacher. So as of 2 weeks ago, congratulations. First 2 weeks, you're now full-time. So as I said, you're going to have to change your name from part-time thrifter to full-time thrifter.
I know, I don't know if it was catchy.
Yeah. People will be like, who's this that's trying to mug off part-time thrifter? But so you were a teacher. So I'm really interested to see how it sort of came to fruition, how you ended up being an Amazon reseller. Because if you were just teaching, you know, how did you see a video once or something? How did you get started?
Like Amazon FBA, it was through a need. That's how I actually got into Amazon FBA. And I was one of those people that said, how to make money online. I'm not kidding you, okay, how to make money online. So it was 5 years ago that I literally started with that. And I got married, I bought a house, and my car broke down all in the same year. Yeah. So a teacher salary, okay, so I'm very lucky, okay, I've been quite clever. I was at 41,000. It's not a bad salary to have, yeah, it's not a bad salary to have, 41,000. But once you actually buy a house, once you actually, something goes with your car, and my car was broken down again. My car was, even though it was a brand new car, after 4.5 years with 40,000 miles, his engine went. So it was a 4,000 job, yeah. And obviously, you want to have a certain life. You've got your honeymoon to book, yeah, and so on. I thought, well, the 41,000 is not quite stretching. I'm living, yeah. But I'm not enjoying having the freedom. Which, like, if I go to the shop now, I can buy whatever I want. I don't actually buy stuff all the time. I'll be honest with you. I'm very, like, I would say even frugal. There's a Greek and a Scottish with me. Just like, I'm not crazy money spender, but if I want to buy something, I can now buy it because of Amazon. And literally, I started online I think there was a woman actually called Mini Millionaire. She was a UK lady, and now she's actually switching to crypto. So she's not even doing Amazon anymore. When I watched it, and then who else this saw? Trying to figure it out. Ebay Reseller, he was actually doing it too.
Yeah.
He's a big American YouTuber. He took a big step back off YouTube too. And then it just escalated from there. I'm literally scanning items left, right, and center. I mean, I didn't have a clue about what Amazon was and how strict they can actually be. One of my second or fifth item I sold on Amazon was HP toners. Now, if you sell an HP toner now as your second item to Amazon, potentially you got a ban. Yeah, if you not got invoices, because I picked it up from Facebook Marketplace and I sold it on Amazon. I didn't check it was new or anything. I just assumed Amazon was like eBay, like anything goes. And if you sell on Amazon, you know that not everything goes really.
Absolutely. Awesome. So you started just selling a few things from, as I say, charity shops, Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. And then what? You just had a moment where you realised this could be something more serious, or?
Yeah, I mean, when are you making an extra 200-300 quid a month without? I mean,
it's a lot extra, isn't it? Really? I mean, if people
it's definitely like a 200-300 quid for a lot of people is a 3,000 raise throughout the year in your workplace. Yeah, and when you've got your 3,000 raise in your workplace, you're expected to work during the weekend, especially as a teacher. If you get your TLR, your advance, basically extra money for having a position, you're expected to work in the weekend. Yeah. So in my head, I was just like, well, I could do Amazon, or I could actually mark books and do extra stuff and do all the sessions, which I hate. I'm very good at one-to-one, but I'm a horrible public speaker when it comes to speaking in front of 100 people. I just don't know. It just doesn't agree with me whatsoever. So, and that's what you need to do in order to actually progress in teaching. And then also, I love my weekends. I couldn't imagine coming back from work, because both my wife and myself work, and just spending the weekend doing extra work is not for me. When with Amazon, I could have it into 2 hours an evening, let's say, for example. That's what it was. And that 2 hours an evening, that went from 200 to 300 to 1,000. And how did that happen? I didn't pay myself for 4 years. This is the 1st September I'm going to pay myself, in 4 years of having a company. I've not paid myself at all, nothing. That's the GoPro.
Yeah, that's the thing that people underestimate, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think I know anyone that didn't go through a stage of not paying themselves for like a long time. Mine was probably a year and a half.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's just like, you've got to, if you want to grow your business, like you want to have a business, you do not want to have another job, basically. That's what it is. You want to grow a business, and you've got to make sacrifices. And a lot of people think like, well, I'm going to start straight away. I'm going to do Amazon. I started with 500 quid. That's what I started with. Yeah. But I've not used that 500 quid. Yeah. I've not used that 500 quid really for us. And that's all you need to start with Amazon. You do not need more. If you've got a scanning app and 500 quid in a printer, you can start doing Amazon. And you will get a far better return than absolutely anything else out there, really, I would say, for sure. Even though it's more saturated, would you agree with yourself? It's definitely a lot more saturated, isn't it, at the moment in time? A lot more people know about it, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to be constantly evolving and adapting, haven't you? I mean, I wondered if online arbitrage was dead in the UK, because I was just kept hearing it. I don't do online anymore, on arbitrage in the UK anymore. I do it in the US. So I wasn't too sure what was going on. So I had a seller on, Simona, on the other week, and she said that it's not dead, but it's like, people that are making it work are just being quiet about it. There's still people making it work. They're just being quiet about it. They don't sort of blab their mouth about it. And you got to find the product. You got to be willing to hold, basically. She said, you've got to be willing to hold it out, wait for it to come back, or you've got to be in there first and stuff like that, or just do the slower sellers and stuff that people aren't saturating and stuff.
Exactly. So I take it you do private level over here now. Do you do private level over here?
Type of stuff. Yeah.
You're completely exactly with that. It's just, especially when so many people now even reverse sourcing, which is quite crazy. Okay, it sounds horrible. Like basically going through all the work that you've done, you've paid for VAs, and then somebody will just use the software, reverse source, just absolutely abuse your store, really.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. And as you said, you've got to keep evolving. So obviously now, for me, I'm going to have the more time. And that will be my next step, would be to look into private labeling, because that is something that obviously now I have the capital, because you do need a capital, don't you, for that? It's not just you can have 1,000 or 2,000, you can start private labeling. So I feel more confident, and I just need to read through it. I need to read through it and look at YouTube videos, because it's amazing. So much advice out there.
So much advice out there. Yeah. Too much, really. There's almost too much, you know, so there's not too much, but I mean, like, if you're not focused on, like, you know, executing on the advice that you want to hear, and just stick to one person or two people into that talk, then you can just get taken away by all the information, don't you? But yeah, no, there's so much information out there. So we spoke, obviously you've done a fair few things since obviously you've been selling on Amazon, you've tested a few things. So in your current experience, now obviously this is all opinion based, everyone's got different opinions. What do you think is the best selling model on Amazon? You know, if you were to pick right now from the stuff that you've done, what do you think the best opportunity is right now in your experience?
Best profit margins by far, it's retail arbitrage. Yeah.
Oh, do you do that at the moment at all?
I try and do it once a week. Once a week, I try and do it, just to see what's happening. So, like, I went to Smith's the other day. I picked up 10 action figures, 10 quid each. They're making me a fiver. Yeah, so literally, it was before I went for swimming with my daughter. I just went to Smith's, and that made me 50 quid just going into a shop. Okay, but I went on Thursday, and I spent pretty much 6 hours doing retail arbitrage. And I spent only 400 quid, which is nothing really. Yeah. How long will it take you to spend 400 quid? And it wouldn't take you 6 hours online if you're sourcing, would it? Like, if you do it online.
Before this call in about 10
exactly.
minutes.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Just like, you know, the wholesaler just sent me a deal. Well, therefore, I'm going to spend £1,000 on that. Or new cards are coming out. Well, I need to buy those, don't I? So profit margins, I would say the best is for retail arbitrage for sure. Okay. Especially if you get a nice clearance. Sustainable model at the moment in time for me has been online arbitrage. I've been doing it consistently for 2 years, and
in the UK,
yeah, in the UK, yeah, in the UK.
That's going well for you, yeah.
Well, I'm getting about 2.5, and I'm getting about 12,000 revenue each month, I would say.
Nice.
So it's not bad margins considering you just ordering online stuff. Wholesaling, which I've started again.
Sorry, 2.5. Did you just say 2.5 gross?
Yeah. So 2.5 profit from 12,000.
Nice, that's very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it just means that I'm reading a lot more of the keeper charts, and I'm just trying to figure out. And I do think that it has actually helped over the last 3-4 weeks. I've got a VA too. I'm still training him. I've got 2 of them. I'm still training him. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a control freak. And 4 weeks now, I've got him. It's only today he's actually got access to my seller central, adding inventory. Yeah, I'm terrible with it. Yeah, I know you need to trust people, and I've got a massive issue when it comes to anything with the business. So let's put it ranking. Sorry, back to the question. I can go to a tangent forever, me. Right. You've got profit margins. You got your RA. I would say OA super easy. Yeah, super easy. There's no reason for people doing OA. They're not able to make 300-400 quid just doing online arbitrage if you're not got the time.
Yeah, great thing.
Wholesalers, it just means there's a lot of reading their spreadsheets. Yeah, and I know there's apps. I know there's tactical arbitrage, Arbisource, Arbitrage Hero. They all do reverse sourcing. Yeah, they all do. They all do wholesale sourcing. But it's not as accurate as you having a look at what's current at this moment in time. Well, Stranger Things was current about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, anyone who bought Stranger Things stuff, you saw what happened. Like, it's insane. The new Andor Star Wars is coming out. Well, how about you stock up on that? That's the way I play it at the moment in time with it. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at what's happening, and I'll try and play it in advance. That's what I'm trying to do when it comes to wholesalers. And private label, just a lot of YouTube videos that I've saved and I need to watch. I think from what I've heard, I always say, funny enough, actually have discussions with a few people over the last year or so, and they've said to me, "Oh, actually, I'm doing private label on Amazon." I'm like, what? I was just like, I didn't think other people actually sell on Amazon. That people that you actually speak to in the streets, if that makes sense. And private labeling seems to be really, really good. Obviously, it still comes with your caveat that you've got to chase people, issue IP alerts, and so on. It's not as easy as like, oh, I've picked a product, I'm a millionaire. But I think I'm going to be looking more into private labeling too.
Yeah. Okay. So if someone was like new, just starting Amazon now, what would you say? What would you wish you did the first thing? If you were starting
Retail arbitrage. I would say retail arbitrage, simply because you can actually check if you're gated or not quite easily. You've got your goods in your hand. You know the size of the goods. You know how many you could roughly fit in a box. I would say that should be your first input into Amazon.
Nice. Let me just say hello to a few people on the live. Here we are. Let's have a little look.
You always get so positive. You always get positive remarks like this. This is quite good for my confidence, this.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, as I say, so Cindy said hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Paul said hey, dude. It was Paul, even though I didn't know his name. He always says hey, dude, so I know it is. Ray Nation, hi, Matt. He says hi, all. Ahmed says hello. Natalie says hi, guys. Andy says what a duo. That's nice comment. And Luke says legends. So there we go. Few people here. You'll have to jump in the community in the Facebook group afterwards if you're not in it.
I know, yeah, for sure. Like I'm terrible. I'm still using Facebook. Like people used Facebook 10 years ago. Nick went for ice cream and stuff like that. Like I'm still using it in that way. I'm terrible. It's like I never understood Twitter. Really, I'm 31. I still don't know what. Like I still use Twitter now, but I use it for my NFTs more than anything. But yeah, I'm just terrible. I still use Facebook as back in the day. Like I've got just 300 people on it, and that's it.
I don't even use it. But Facebook communities, there's a few really nice groups. Like obviously, I would say my group. I've only just started it, and then you've got Ecom in a Circle with Natalie and Matthew Wright and Johnny. Really, really good communities. I'd recommend you get in them and just get to know everyone. It's just a game. You just keep up to date on all the news and stuff. Get to meet some really good friends. I've met some friends probably for life, in these groups. So it's really nice. We're all just sellers. Good opportunities as well. So yeah, you should definitely jump in. Cool. So what do you think the 3 biggest lessons you've learned, in your current Amazon seller journey? Because obviously sometimes you learn them the hard way, don't you? So
yeah, I mean, I think number 1 is do not use Hermes to ship dangerous goods into Amazon.
Oh, okay. Hermes. so you do dangerous goods, because not many people sell dangerous goods.
I do, yeah. I mean, it's not bad, right? Literally, it's all it is. It's just cosmetics. It's nothing crazy. It says dangerous good, but it's just cosmetic. And all you've got to do is exactly the same process, but just pick somebody trustworthy. So DHL have been really good for me. But Hermes lost it twice. Yodel took him 2 months before he got checked in. But DHL was faster than UPS. Delivering for it.
I know specific couriers are not good, but with risk comes reward, don't they? So, I mean, dangerous goods, I actually mentioned this in one of my YouTube videos the other day. I feel like stuff like that, like dangerous goods and like oversized items, there's so much opportunity there that no one goes after because they think it's really hard. But surely once you've got a system for that, it's not hard.
And it can see people are scared to do it because you'll jump on a listing and you'll see just FBM sellers, and that's people that are basically thinking, oh, well, I don't want to spend the extra £4 and sending it into Amazon, when you're actually spending that per item, sending it as merchant fulfilled. And obviously, when you're the only FBA seller, you get the buy box, and that's something that you can actually look for. If you're actually struggling, you could look at the dangerous goods. Obviously, it's not as safe as transporting everything with UPS, which is the partner carrier of Amazon. Yeah. But as you said, like I would say the box, maybe the top maximum cost of a box should be £100 that I will actually send in with DHL. With the UPS is insane. Pretty sure I've sent actually £1,000 worth of stuff in a box into UPS, and I've not even thought about it.
Amazing. Maybe it's things like, as I say, I mentioned that the other day. As I say, I've strongly contemplated starting online arbitrage again in the UK and just doing dangerous goods. Now, I might be like, exposing my potential strategy there, but so many people just don't do it that I'm not worried about it. Like
it's exactly that. You're 100% correct.
Best opportunity, right, to send just focus on dangerous goods, just focus on oversized items, get up a good strategy, and no one does it. So you can tell as many people as you want because just no one focuses on it, properly. And I just think that's opportunities like that, people that have got confidence.
It's like a couple of months ago, Amazon brought in if an item's over than 63 centimeters long and it's oversized, you're not able to actually put 2 or 3 in the same box. You've got to put each thing separately. And a lot of people have actually sending oversized goods, but if you're sending an item that is actually oversized 63 and it's like, what, 3 kg, you're paying £2.50 just to send it into UPS by yourself. So that's a lot easier than actually you paying that as a merchant fulfilled person. Plus, you also get the buy box. So it's definitely stopped a lot of people. Because I don't know, obviously, because if you're using a prep center, and obviously you said you're not doing online arbitrage, but a lot of people have been hit recently with pictures from Amazon saying your item's too big, is longer than 63 centimeters. Right. And what does that mean? Will Amazon stop your account? Potentially no, but they might actually stop you sending items into Amazon FBA for a bit as like a penalty. I imagine that's what potentially they could do.
Yeah, 100%. So cool. So first biggest lesson is not use Hermes, or what was the other one you said?
So that's the first one. Okay, so use Hermes. I used it. Yodel. Don't use Yodel either. DHL is okay. Second is, I would say, I didn't, and I'm embarrassed to say it, I didn't actually use a profit tracking app until 2 years after I started Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And I do generally think that you need to actually know what you're doing. Because unless you're actually using a profit tracking app, I don't think you have a clue what's happening with Amazon. Because their fee structure is all over the place. It's not as simple as like, I've sold it, I've bought it for that, and that's it. So I think invest into actually having a decent software. Okay, so if you're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, like you're thinking, well, I'm going to do this, but now I'm going to be paying 80 quid a month on software. Yeah, but how much of an issue would you create if you spent 100 quid of stock that just stays there? So like having Keeper, having a scanning software. I'm mentioning Keeper because it's the only one that actually is. So a scanning software, and then you've got a profit tracking software. You actually know what you're doing really for us. Otherwise, you're just taking a stab like, oh, I'm getting paid this load of money each month, but what's that for, basically?
100%. I used a repricer when I started. What was it? It was not one of the ones that are around now. I don't know if it's even. It was called. I can't remember the name of it. Easy Repricer or something. No, EU Repricer. I can't remember what it was.
I use Prof Protector Pro, to be honest. That's what I use.
Yeah, so do I use that. Yeah.
So like I actually did a YouTube video yesterday, and I was actually showing people. I've sold 7,000 over the buy box using it.
Wow,
it's insane. And I had a call with Karen from BuyBot Pro maybe 2.5 years ago. Christos Fellas actually introduced me to Karen, and 2.5 years ago, and that's made me 7,000 over the buy box. It does work, and it's not the only repricer, but for me, it's been absolutely amazing. Really,
yeah, same. I've never had issues with it. I've always used it, you know. Yeah. I think, but yeah, controversial subject that the repricer. So,
again, another thing that I didn't know existed until I spoke to Karen. I didn't even know it existed. Like, bear in mind, you're having somebody who's actually it's their baby, and I didn't have a clue what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue that it existed. I didn't have a clue what BuyBot Pro and Seller Amp was. Seller Amp, I spoke to Al. Al explained to me what it was. Al, who's the owner of Seller Amp, okay, a good 4 or 5 years ago. I rang, literally was like, says, oh, can we have a meeting speaking about like YouTube? And I was literally on my old version of the garage with tin foil on the top. Al speaking to me, he's probably thinking, who is this guy? And then suddenly, like, I'm using it and so on. So I would say first one, so definitely dangerous good, explore different stuff. Second one, don't be afraid to invest in software. Do not be afraid to invest in software. You will get your money back. You will get your money back investing in software, okay? 100%. And thirdly, I would say you do need to have a look at what's happening. Have a community. Speak to other people. It's very lonely. Amazon can be very, very lonely, yeah? Amazon can be very, very lonely. But if you speak to more people, like I'm very lucky, I've got my own Discord group, and I've got 30 people, which very, very like-minded, and we chat pretty much all day about what's Amazon. So say, for example, there's a toy shelf at Asda, or there's something happening. Don't try and do it by yourself. I mean, obviously, if you're doing private labeling, then maybe you do not need to have that sense of community of actually speaking to other people about what's happening. But when there's a massive toy sale where there's a code that you can actually abuse when there's a freebie, it's nice to actually having people that talk to you.
So that's a WhatsApp group that you're in, is it?
Sorry?
Is that a WhatsApp group you're in?
It's like, I would say it's like WhatsApp on steroids, Discord. That's what it is.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so 3 lessons you learned. The third one is to make sure you're in a community. Like,
speak to people. You need to speak to people. You're always going to be learning. There's no way one person knows everything about Amazon. Yeah, there's no way that one person knows everything. There's always going to be somebody, in my opinion, that's going to be better than you doing it, and you can learn from it. And so many people are just so proud and it's like, oh, I want to be the best one and I want to have the best numbers, but it's not point. It's just like, that's not what life is. If you're actually, yes, some people are the best, yeah, and that's it, but you can actually follow those people and then you can actually get to that level. And the way I'm doing it, like, I'm trying to be as clear and as honest as I'm actually documenting this journey. And I think this is why, from my side, I've gone from like having my mum and my sisters watching my channel, my wife, to like having 3,000 people watching the channel.
100%. I think that's why I wanted to get you on. I really picked up on your honesty and like integrity and like just trying to document your journey genuinely. I feel like I try to be like that as well, and I feel like that's why I wanted to get you on. So I feel like you're, as I say, just trying to be genuine, honest, and you're genuinely in your journey, and then obviously, yeah, creating videos at the same time. Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? People can see that very obviously. I think they can see the difference between, you know.
I think they can. I genuinely do think they can. Like, and people can understand as soon as you're actually creating content or creating anything and you're not enjoying it, people will know straight away. That's the big one. People will actually know.
100%. Make sure you drop your. If someone could find Part-Time Thrifter's YouTube channel, and because he's not in the Facebook group yet, if you could just drop his link in there and make sure you subscribe, that'd be good. But yeah, that was it. Natalie's just commented, EU Essentials. That was the repricer I used. I don't know if you've heard of it. Have you heard of that one?
I haven't actually. No, I haven't.
Cindy said, what software do you use? So what software do you use? If you could just go through them.
So I use, I do invest in both Seller Amp and BuyBook Pro, so I use both of them.
Okay.
So mainly for Seller Amp, what I really like. Sorry?
Why do you?
Yeah, sorry. So Seller Amp, I was using both of them because Seller Amp had a nice method of exporting to different Google Sheets. So it's very easy to communicate my business partners, say, for example, or with my VAs, and I can actually clearly see and have it divvied up by store. So that was something that I really, really liked. BuyBook Pro, I like how it says to you if it's a good deal or a bad deal. Yeah. Literally when it just does the calculation for you. Yeah, it does the calculation. It says if you set your parameters. And it just depends. Like, obviously, by having a reselling group, which I have, some people use BuyBook Pro, some people use Seller Amp, okay? And this is why I like to be able to use both platforms, and I can actually, basically, I want to see what's current and I want to see what's the best, and that's what I use both, because they've both got the attributes. And for me, it's nice having the both set of data when I'm actually opening something before I make a big purchase. I can see the both sets of data there. And now, obviously, the big thing for me with BuyBook Pro was I absolutely love Some Fully, and I imagine quite a lot of people here loved Some Fully. And I mean, I've never used anything like it beforehand, but now I'm using Sellerboard. Okay, I've just jumped into Sellerboard. I keep seeing the screenshots on Twitter for years and Facebook for years, but I never actually thought I needed it because I did have Some Fully, and before that I was using Sellerboard. Some Fully was out of this world. Seller Toolkit is just as amazing as it. So I'll write it down because I'm really sorry, by the way, guys. If you're not used to my accent at this moment in time, it usually takes the kids 2 or 3 weeks before they actually understand what I'm saying. So hopefully, I don't know if you can put subtitles at the end of it, mate.
I think there is someone anyway on YouTube.
Yeah. So sourcing is obviously, first of all, Keeper. Everyone needs Keeper. Yeah. Second of all, you need a scanning app, so Seller Amp or BuyBook Pro. Repricer, I use Profit Protector Pro. And profit margins, I have I'm using Seller Toolkit at this moment in time. And when it comes to software for sourcing, I'm using Arbitrage at the moment in time. That's what I'm using. Yeah, Arbitrage. And I'll be honest with you, it's similar to you. Callum reached out to us and we started speaking, and it's just an amazing lad, and he's just gone full time to doing that. He created it from, he created it literally. He wanted to create software for himself, and then he just created this monster, which is insane.
Wow, I'll have to talk to him. What's his name? Callum.
Callum Boyd. Again, it's Arbitrage is his Facebook group. He's absolutely amazing. Seriously, such an easy person to speak to. And
yeah, I'll have to get in contact with him. Get him on
yeah. He's actually, I think his next plan now is over the next coming months, as he's going full time, is to create the software in America too. Because he's only UK at the moment, and he's a very, very interesting person to speak to.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Sounds like he's found a little gold mine for himself. Awesome.
For sure, and it's good. It works.
Yeah. No, it's good. So I haven't used software to source products like that for ages. I mean, I've got VAs that do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but it would be good to give them a software. Absolutely. Top tips for current or new resellers. So what springs to mind when you've got the top tips?
Don't do. I think the big one for me is don't do Amazon during Q4. Obviously, that sounds crazy. Don't do Amazon Q4, do really well, and then think I can quit my job in January, February. Yeah. I have seen this many, many times. Yeah, many times that people doing 20,000 in December. I can do that all the time. That's it. And then they're just like, oh, I've just sold 1,000 or 2,000 in February, and I'm not able to actually, I need to go back to work now.
Yeah.
It'll never be the right time for you to stop working, to stop being employed by someone and having a steady paycheck. Okay, I think you'll know in your heart when it's the right time. For me, the right time was like, I knew that I had everything in line. I knew that my house has just been remortgaged again for another 5 years fixed. Yeah, I know what I need to pay exactly each month. I've got no other expenses. I actually challenged myself, and I said to my wife this year, while you're actually off maternity leave, I don't want you to pay for anything. Yeah, I just want for me to do everything with even just my teaching salary, not even my Amazon money. So I thought, well, if I can do that for a whole year, surely I can actually keep continuing with that. So I think the first one is patience, I would say. Everyone needs to have patience when it comes to Amazon. Example with the fact, like, if you're doing online arbitrage, if you think you're going to be the only person that finds that deal for 10 quid at Smith's, you're not going to be that only person that finds the 10 quid. But are you going to be that person that waits for 2 months? That's the thing. Yeah, that's how you actually get your profit margins. And for me, that's the big one. I don't know if you've actually seen Thomas, our mental picks guy. So I like his honesty. He's just insane. Like how he basically will actually pick something up in February, and then he'll hold it all the way to like November, and you'll just see the item, the value goes up, or the keeper chart looks amazing on it. So I think the big one is patience with it. The amount of sellers that jump in and try to penny pinch, and everyone that's doing Amazon have had that term penny pinching. I don't know what your goal is. Penny pinching. Obviously, I imagine you're trying to run your capital as fast as possible, but what do you value your effort? A 5% return on investment, at 10, at 20? So first one is patience. Second is set targets for yourself. Yeah. And this is something that I've actually started doing now as a full-time person. Obviously, I had it as a part-time. I knew as a part-time person selling 9 and 10,000 and 12,000 a month, each month, I think that's pretty great.
Lovely little side.
I think that's pretty, again, I know I'm very, very biased. I've done it myself, but I think that's pretty great. But in the same time, if I'm doing it full-time and doing 12,000, that's not pretty great. Yeah, there's something missing there. There's me not having a work-life balance, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's me sat there, obviously, and you're not going to get a better reward than actually spending time with your daughter or doing stuff with your family. Yeah, but look at your screen time. Yeah, are you spending an hour on TikTok? Basically, that's what it is. So set targets for yourself. That's the big one. Set targets. What do you want to do today? So say, for example, for me, each day I need to. I've neglected eBay, so I list 10 items a day now. Yeah, because eBay, if you feed eBay, it will also push your advertising. You will go up to the listings, and you can actually start selling. I wish I spent more time on my website, but at the moment in time, my website is just a front to get wholesalers. I wish I'd actually have more time and more skills to be spending time on my website. But it's not picked up. Let's be honest, not picked up. You need to be spending a lot more time, and you need to be brutally honest with yourselves. You need to be honest with yourselves. Don't just think like, oh, I'm paying for a Shopify store, it's going to work. Well, unless you're actually paying 500 quid for advertising, that's not going to work. I can tell you that. You can get your mom, you can get your sister to buy and leave a review, but that's it. It's going to run pretty stale for us. I would say patience. Dear me, a big one. Have a different bank account, guys. Like the amount of people that I actually speak to, and it sounds very like crazy that people don't follow it, but the amount of people that don't have a separate bank account with their business and their personal spending is absolutely insane.
How do you mean, sorry?
Sorry?
How do you mean? Have two bank accounts, you say?
People don't have a business bank account, and I'm not talking about you going to the bank and opening a business account. Open a Starling Bank, open a Monzo one, open a Revolut. Keep it separate. Just keep it separate completely. Your personal spending and your business spending should be separate.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah. I can't believe people... Do people do that?
Oh, I didn't. So many times. So many times I speak to people. So many times it's like, oh, well, I didn't have my card, so I just thought I'll just buy on my personal account. Well, it escalates. Oh, I couldn't pay for milk. I didn't have my card for milk, so I'd use my business account for milk. Well, it trickles down. Before you know it, milk becomes a T-shirt. The T-shirt becomes a hoodie. And the hoodie becomes God knows what.
Yeah,
you've got to be disciplined. Like seriously, that's why I love having my Discord or my Instagram. I get a lot of people actually message me on Instagram all the time, and with just different little gems like that for us. Have a separate bank account, please, please, please.
Awesome. Great. Mate, been great talking to you. Where can people find you if they want to follow you? Obviously, you got Cindy's just dropped your YouTube channel, actually. The link
Amazing.
there.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you so much for that. So that's Time Thrifter since 3 years ago. I've got an Instagram channel with the same hashtag, and I think I've still got it on Twitter. Twitter, I just use it for my NFTs. And I've opened recently a part-time thrifter and 0 at the end of it for TikTok.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Someone commented saying, did you post TikTok yesterday? You're showing your company details.
I don't think I did, but I'll check. I've posted a TikTok for 2 weeks. I did. I'll be honest with you. I did actually open a TikTok store, and that was scary because everything was there. Everything was there. You open a TikTok store and everything was there. And I was thinking, oh, so I've closed this there. But that was maybe even a month ago. But I'll have a look. Do you know me? That's a nice surprise.
Yeah, nice. It's always worrying when someone says something.
No, well, I did a TikTok and I've got about 20,000 views on this one.
Wow.
And I basically said, oh, I've gone to Corey's and made 100 quid in 10 minutes. And cue all the messages. Well, you didn't quite really, have you? You've not sold the items yet, have you? I was like, well, you're actually scrolling on TikTok and commenting. I think I might be doing quite better than what you've done. The funny thing, they actually have sold, but like, is there any point replying?
I think, honestly, TikTok, you've got to be so thick-skinned to be on that, hitting it hard, especially in our sort of game when you got like people put you in the same bucket. It's like the gurus that literally just selling you courses and they don't even sell on Amazon. So you've got to be like, you've got to be really thick-skinned to know that you're not like that. That's what I've learned. But yeah, mate, I think I'm just about thick enough skin now to go on TikTok. I might venture onto it soon, but
it's crazy. I was telling you just before we started here, guys. I was telling how I was been on YouTube for 3 years. I had no students finding me. 3 days into TikTok, kids straight away is like, "Oh, say it's part-time thrifter." I thought, "Oh no."
Oh right, people that.
Oh yeah, I had it. I got found out. I got found out maybe 6 weeks before I actually finished my teaching.
Wow, because those of you don't know,
I did get. Oh, it's part-time thrifter. Oh, what are you selling, sir? Yeah, I did get. It was quite, and that was from a grammar school. Okay, so I worked in a grammar school, and I still got it. Imagine if I was in one of our previous schools, like an inner city school, that would have been insane. But it's so all good. Like the kids, I mean, the best thing about teaching, and anyone does teaching, is the kids. I'll be honest with you, that is the best thing about it. The reason I left teaching wasn't the kids. It's just all the stuff that comes with teaching. that the adults. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Also, when, as you said about holidays, you've always got to go away at the most expensive times. Like my sister, for example, I wanted to go on a holiday. My mum and my sister, we were all going to go together. My sister can't come because it's 4 or 5 times the price in the holiday time, and we couldn't find anywhere because it was too busy. And I was like, "Look, we're going to have to leave you behind." So we just
crazy. It's just like my wife was used to going on holiday for 200-300 quid for a week. And you're talking about a minimum of 1,000 if you wanted to actually go somewhere during term time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mate, been really, really good talking to you.
No, it's been a pleasure, mate. Very enjoyable. Nice 45 minutes. Enjoyable for us.
Nice. Hopefully we can stay in touch. I hope you join the Facebook group.
Yeah, mate. I'm more than happy if you want to do this ever again too. So thanks so much for having us on.
I hope you get to know people in the
Facebook. Yeah, I'll make sure I join it straight away.
There's some really cool people. Awesome. Okay, right. Make sure you subscribe to his channel and get involved with sort of his videos and stuff as well. Yeah, we will see you all in the next video.
Cheers. Thanks so much, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.